So, guys, a lot of people have been saying that their Turkish residence permit has been rejected. Yeah, it is a common phenomenon nowadays. If you are looking for possibilities to migrate to Turkey, then you also need to understand that it is not easy nowadays to get a Turkish residence permit. All right. Now, how do you go about getting the permit? Because sometimes a lot of us internationals, we just want to move into some of these countries, but first you have to define your why. Why are you moving to the country? Let's assume that you are using the tourist visa. There are some certain countries that you cannot get more than 30 days tourist visa. All right. There are some that you cannot get more than 60 days, and of course, I know that the tourist visa cannot exceed 90 days, which is less than 3 months. So for those countries that are that you need just the 30 days offer, if you want to live in Turkey for more than the duration of your Turkish your tourist visa, which is, let's say, 30 days, you must be able to document that you have a residence permit. And how do you go about this? You need to apply for a residence permit, all right? But applying for the permit, you need to go to the local authorities. But first, before going to the local authorities, make sure that you go before your visa expires, because if it expires when you have not gotten the residence permit, it's a problem. Now, in the case where you find yourself in difficulties, you have to contact firms that are able to help you. Now, let's look at the reasons why your permits will be rejected. Remember, I'm not talking about those people that have tourist visas for more than 90 days. My focus is on 30 days. In case you are trying to apply for a tourist visa and from Africa and you succeed to arrive in, let's say, Turkey, now you need a document if you want to live or stay longer than that, than the 30 days given to you in your visa from your home country. Let's say you are from Nigeria, you are from Tanzania, Cameroon, Uganda, South Africa, and you want to extend your stay in Turkey. Of course, you need the residence permit, but if you can't apply for it, or if you try to apply for it and it's rejected, it means there is something wrong. First of all, there are reasons nowadays where a lot of people try to get the Turkish residency and they are being rejected. Already, there are a lot of people, even to get visa sometimes for international students to migrate to Turkey nowadays, is a very big problem. Like in one of my videos, I was talking about, I don't know when you are going to watch the video, maybe probably before this one or after this one. If you are above, let's say, if you are below 22 years, please don't apply for a business visa. You won't get it. To Turkey, that is what I'm saying. If you are below 18 years, don't apply for a study visa. You won't get it, all right? They will reject you because you cannot live in Turkey. They assume that you are underage and you cannot live alone on your own. And again, if you are above 24 years, don't apply for a bachelor's degree because you won't get it. All right, the embassy might knock you off. I know what I'm saying. The embassy is going to knock you off. All right. The reason is because they know a lot of people just enter into the country and they don't go to school, which is something that I know is very common with us. But however, we are also looking for possibilities to thrive. So I get that. I know it is a very common something. So now your residence permit may be rejected in Turkey if you are trying to extend it. All right, your visa is valid for 30 days. If you want to extend it to live longer, you need a residence permit, and your permit might be rejected just because they are just rejecting permits, not as if there is something there. Remember, it all depends on who you find on seat or on standby that particular day, or the visa official. All right, you may meet someone that is in mood swings and the person knocks you off, but it's not a very common phenomenon, but we are not looking at that. All right. Now, another reason your permit may be rejected is due to the documents that has been requested from you and you are unable to supply them. Remember, if you omit a document, it is not the duty of the embassy or consular to tell you to bring the document. It is your duty to find out which particular documents do you need to apply for the residency. I hope you understand, because a lot of people don't get this. They still think that some people are never serious. By the way, you cannot be looking for a document in a foreign country and you do not do research on your own. Even if you don't do research, try to verify from people. So these are some of the petty things that can happen and you get knocked off of your Turkish residency. All right, it is a very important document in case you must leave Turkey to another country. I hope you understand what I'm. Now, another thing I want to talk about is something people don't know. You know, in Turkey, the neighborhoods, let me put it this way, um, there, all the neighborhoods in Turkey, like I can put it, has a particular percentage of internationals that has to occupy that locality. All right, in as soon as the population, the international population, let me say foreigners population within that locality or that city in Turkey is full, or the maximum has been reached, no other person will be accepted or given a residence permit. That is what a lot of internationals don't understand. All right. Now, again, I will not encourage you to go to Turkey with a tourist visa, because the tourist visa nowadays has been closed from the system. All right. In terms of permits, you may not get a permit with a tourist visa in Turkey. So I would say that it is good to use a medical visa. All right. Or if you finally move to Turkey, use a medical visa, because it would be easy for you to get a permit in Turkey with a medical visa. All right. But in case you manage to move to Turkey with a tourist visa and you have qualifications or certificates with you, all right, and you think that you can get academics, or the best way, if you must get a permit in Turkey, I will advise you, if you go with a tourist visa to Turkey, try as much as fast as possible, or try as fast as possible to get an admissions in a Turkish university, so that as your tourist visa is expiring, you should already be in the system in school to study. This is the advantage when you are already in the system to study. As soon as your tourist visa expires, you can now use your student documents to tell them that, yes, I came with a tourist visa, but I am now studying. They would be able to see from the system. Remember, everything is being cached into the system. They will be able to see that in their system, I mean the officials in Turkey, and you will now use their student certificates, all right, or your admissions letters or enrollment letters from the university, being it the University of Istanbul or Ankara, then get your permit, all right. That is the best way. But another thing you need to understand is that that is the best way, first of all. Another thing you need to understand is that those people, it's just that when you talk to people, sometimes they don't listen. There are some students, I told them about Northern Cyprus. They actually came to me and they were like, they wanted to move to Northern Cyprus. And the first question I always ask international students, do you have a sponsor? If you say yes or no, I will ask the second question. Do you really want to go to school? Is your dream to get certificate? Yes or no? First, if your dream is to get certificates and you have a sponsor, go to Northern Cyprus. But if your dream is to get certificate and you do not have a sponsor, you don't have a source of income every month, don't go to Northern Cyprus, because you will be frustrated and your dreams will crumble. They don't listen. When they go, they start calling me again. There is nothing I can do, all right? The only thing I can do is to give you advice on this YouTube channel. If you can't listen, then there is nothing, my hands will be off. Now, another thing I want to tell you is, in case you go to Turkey with a tourist visa, now as I speak, because a lot of things are changing. Even with the Turkish embassy in my own home country, is a lot of difficulties. I have a friend who was applying for a student visa. Her visa was rejected with no reason given to her. It's later that I realized that probably her age might have surpassed the 24 years old, because I think she was going for bachelor's. All right. So, like I said, if you are above 24 years, don't go for bachelor's again. Turkey will not give you a visa. There are so many complications now in Turkey, and they are trying to balance the equilibrium to see how people come into the country and move out. All right. So now, the thing I'm talking about is, if you manage to enter Turkey with a tourist visa, this is what you should do right now. Do not go to apply for a residence permit with a tourist visa. Try as much as possible to change that status of that tourist visa. All right. Either get a medical visa or something, or maybe just apply for a university to increase your chances. This is my point. If you fail to do that and you go to apply for a residence permit, as soon as they reject your residence permit, remember every permit has a QR code or a code. As soon as it's rejected, you will not be able to switch it again. you will not be able to switch it again, because your passport details has been entered and so many other details, your passport number have been entered. You cannot switch it again, and you have no choice rather than to leave the country or live illegally, which is a very big crime. All right, so always swap the visa. It is not advisable to go get a tourist let me say a residence permit now with a tourist visa. I hope this information is something that can help somebody. Something people do when you are rejected the first time, the best thing to do is to leave the country, then you try to enter again. All right, because a lot of people, when they are rejected, when their residence permit is rejected in Turkey, they will be like, they go meet people and the people will tell them you can apply again and get it. Then when you go give your money to somebody, they apply again, you will be rejected again. All right, before you